Hello, I am 1A students. Let's go over your practice for solving equations review. All right, so for the first question, we want to get y by itself. So we need to work on that left side of the equation. We want to get rid of that 4, so we do the opposite of subtract, which is add 4 to both sides. And we end up with y equals 7. To check, we plug 7 back in for y. 7 minus 4, is that equal to 3? 3 is equal to 3. That's true, so we got it right. All right, question 2, we're solving for x. So we want to do the opposite of plus 5 by subtracting 5 to both sides. We'll get x equals 8 minus 5 is 3. Check if this is true. X is 3 plus 5 equals 8. 8 equals 8, so that's true. Question 3, we want r by itself, so we do the opposite. We have a negative 8 here, so we're going to add 8 to both sides. Remember, these just cancel out, right? Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. That's what our point. So we get r equals 18. Let's check. 18 plus a negative 8 equals 10. This is the same as 18 minus 8, which indeed is 10. So we got these right. All right. For question 4, you want to get z by itself. So on the right-hand side of the equation, we're going to start with the term furthest away from z and move it over. So in order to get rid of that negative 3, we're going to add 3 to both sides. This goes away. 5 plus 3 is 8 equals z over negative 4. Negative 4 is attached to z by division because we say z divided by negative 4. So we're going to do the opposite, which is multiply by negative 4 on both sides. These cancel out, and I get z equals 8 times negative 4 is a negative 32. Let's plug z in for negative 32 and check. 5 is equal to negative 32 over negative 4 minus 3. 5 is equal to, well, negative 32 divided by negative 4 is 8 minus 3. Yeah, and 8 minus 3 is 5, so we got that correct. Same thing over here, we're solving for this h. This equation tells us h plus 6 divided by 5 equals 2. So on the left-hand side, I want to get the furthest thing away from h to the other side of the equation, which would be this 5. So notice there's a difference when h plus 6, the whole thing is being divided by 5. 5 goes first, rather than just the z term being divided, and we have a number on the outside. Then that number on the outside goes first. We're all trying to just get close to that variable. We're going to multiply by 5 over 1 on each side, and we'll get h plus 6 equals 10. We'll subtract 6 to each side and get h equals 4. Let's double check. If h is 4 plus 6 divided by 5, does that equal 2? 4 plus 6 is 10 over 5. Does that equal 2? Yep. So we got it right. All right, over here we want to solve for m. We're going to start off by distributing to get rid of those parentheses. So we'll distribute inside. 6 stays the same, plus 5 times m is 5m. And don't forget to distribute to both terms. 5 times a positive 1 is plus 5 equals 26. Let's combine these like terms of 5 and 6 to get 5m plus 11 equals 26. I want m by itself, so I'm going to subtract 11 to both sides. I'll get 5m equals 6 minus 1 is 5, and 2 minus 1 is 1, 15. Divide by 5, and we'll get m equals 3. Let's check. 6 plus 5 times 3 plus 1, does that equal 26? Let's see. 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 26 does equal 26. We got it right. You will always get a true statement if you plug it back in. Number 7, here we go. 27 equals 3c. We need to distribute this negative 3 in. Negative 3 times 6 is a negative 18. And negative 3 times a negative 2c is going to be a positive 6c. Let's combine those like terms of 3 and 6. We'll get 27 equals 9c minus 18. Let's add 18 to both sides. Okay, so we get 9c equals 7 and 8. That's 5, 15, 45. We can divide by 9 on each side and get c equals 5. Let's check by plugging in c for equals 5. 27, does that equal to 3 times 5 minus 3 times 6 minus 2 times 5? Let's check. 27 equals 3 times 5 is 15 minus 3 times 6 minus 10. 27 is equal to 15 minus 3. 6 minus 10 is a negative 4. Negative 3 times negative 4 is equal to a positive 12. And 15 plus 12 does equal 27. So there we go. All right, I want to solve for p for question 8. I need all p's on one side and all numbers on the other. So I'm going to move the 9 over first. And I'll get 5p, this disappears, equals 2p plus 21. I want all p's on the same side, so I'm going to move the 2p over. I'll get 3p equals 21. Divide by 3 on each side, and I'll get p equals 7. To check, let's plug in 7 for p. 5 times 7 minus 9, is that equal to 2 times 7 plus 12? Let's see. 5 times 7 is a 35 minus 9. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 2. 35 minus 9, that's 26. And I actually made a mistake. This is 12, not 2. My bad. And 14 plus 12 is 26. There we go. Number 9, we want all r's on one side, all numbers on the other. So I'll move this 10 over. This cancels out. I get negative 3r equals 15r. Negative 8 minus 10 is a negative 18. Let's move this 15r over by subtracting. Okay, I'll get negative 18r equals negative 18. I divide by negative 18 on both sides, and I get r equals a positive 1. Let's check. Negative 3 times 1 plus 10, is that equal to 15 times 1 minus 8? Let's check. Negative 3 plus 10 is equal to 15 minus 8. This is 7 is equal to 7. Yep, we got it right. For number 10, let's distribute to get rid of these parentheses first. So we're going to say 10 times g is 10g, and 10 times 5 is plus 50, is equal to 2 times g, which is 2g, and 2 times 9 is 18. I want all g's on one side, all numbers on the other, so I'm going to subtract 2g from each side. I'll get 8g plus 50 equals 18. Let's subtract 50 from both sides. I'm going to just move over here. I'll get 8g equals negative 32. And if I divide by 8 on each side, I'll get g equals negative 4. Let's check. 10 times negative 4 plus 5, is that equal to 2 times negative 4 plus 9? 10 times negative 4 plus 5 is 1. Is that equal to 2 times negative 4 plus 9 is 5? 10 is equal to 10? Yep. Same procedure, we're going to distribute first. Negative 9 times t is a negative 9t. And negative 9 times negative 2 is a positive 18. Equals 4 times t is 4t. And 4 times negative 15 is negative 60. I want all t's on one side, all numbers on the other. So I'm going to subtract 4t to each side. 9 minus 4 is a negative 13t plus 18 equals negative 60. All right, let's keep going here. We are going to move this 18 over by subtracting. I'm running out of room, so I'm going to come right here. And we get negative 13t equals negative 78. Let's divide both sides by negative 13. And negative 78 divided by negative 13 is equal to 6. Let's check if we're right. Negative 9 times 6 minus 2. Is that equal to 4 times 6 minus 15? Negative 9 times 6 minus 2 is 4. Is equal to 4 times 6 minus 15 is a negative 7. No, it's not. It's a negative 9. My bad. So this is negative 36 is equal to negative 36. Yep. Good. All right. A repair bill for your car is $553. The parts cost $265. The labor costs $48 per hour. Write and solve an equation to find the number of hours of labor spent repairing the car. This is going to be our variable x. So, $48 per hour, plus I have to add on the cost of the parts, and that's going to cost me $553. All right, if I subtract 265, I will get 48x equals 553 minus 265 is 288. If I divide both sides by 48 to get x alone, I will get 6. So how many hours did they have to work on my car? They worked on the car for 6 hours. All right, let's continue. Alrighty, we want to solve for w, so we're going to subtract 3 to both sides, and we'll get w equals negative 7. Plug it back in. Negative 7 plus 3, does that equal negative 4? Sure does. We want to get p alone, so we're going to add 11 to both sides. Remember, you're doing those inverse operations here. This is negative 3. Let's check. Negative 14, does that equal negative 3 minus 11? Yep, this is the same as negative 3 plus a negative 11, which is indeed negative 14. All right, we can simplify this here, because remember, this is a negative 1, really. And t plus 5 equals 9. We can subtract 5 from each side and get t equals 4. T minus, oops, not t, if we're checking. 4 minus a negative 5 equals 9. This is really 4 plus 5 equals 9. 4 plus 5 is 9, so that's correct. Remember, these problems are tricky. Okay, so since I have a divided by 3 plus 4, the 4 is the first thing to go. So we're going to subtract 4 to each side. We'll get a over 3 equals 2. A divided by 3, so to do the opposite, we'll multiply both sides by 3, and I'll get a equals 6. Let's double check. 6 over 3 plus 4 is equal to 6. 6 over 3 is 2 plus 4 equals 6. And that's 6 equals 6. So we're good. Over here, I've got d minus 8 divided by negative 2 equals 12. So we're going to get rid of the negative 2 first by multiplying both sides by negative 2. D minus 8 equals 12 times negative 2 is a negative 24. Now we add 8 to both sides and get D equals negative 16. Let's check. Negative 16 minus 8 over negative 2, does that equal 12? Negative 16 minus 8 is a negative 24 over 2, negative 2. And negative 24 divided by negative 2 is 12, which is equal to 12. That's true. To get rid of these parentheses, we're going to distribute inside first. 4z plus 4 times 5 is 20 equals 32. Now we're solving like normal. Let's move that 20 over. We'll get 4z equals 12 and divide by 4 on each side, z equals 3. Let's check. 4 times 3 plus 5, does that equal 32? 4 times 8, is that 32? Yes, so we got it right. Okay, number 7. Let's distribute first. We've got 5h plus 2 times 11 is 22. And 2 times a negative h is negative 2h equals negative 5. Let's combine like terms of 5h and 2h to get 3h plus 22 equals negative 5. We'll move this 22 over by subtracting, and we'll get 3h equals negative 27. Divide by 3 on each side, h equals negative 9. Let's check. 5 times negative 9 plus 2 times 11 minus a negative 9 equals negative 5. All right, this is negative 45 plus 2 times 11 and 9 is 20. Does that equal negative 5? Negative 45 plus 40. Yeah, that's negative 5. So we got it right. I need all t's on one side, so I'm going to add this 5t over to get 10t plus 16 equals 6. I want t alone, so I'm going to subtract 16 from each side. I'll get 10t equals negative 10. Divide by 10 on each side, and t equals negative 1. Let's check. 5 times negative 1 plus 16. Does that equal to 6 minus 5 times negative 1? Negative 5 plus 16 is equal to 6 times 5 times negative 1 is plus 5. 16 minus 5 is 11, and 6 plus 5 is 11. So that's true. All right, let's combine like terms of 3x and negative 12x. So we should get on this side 7 minus 9x equals 3x plus 1. All x's on one side. Let's move the 3x over. And we'll get 7 minus 12x equals 1. We will subtract 7 each side, and we'll get negative 12x equals negative 6. Okay, divide by negative 12, and we get x equals positive 1/2. Let's check. 7, plus 3 times 1/2 minus 12 times 1/2 is equal to 3 times 1/2 plus 1. All right, 7 plus 1.5 minus 6 equals 3 times 1/2 is also 1.5 plus 1. Okay, 7, I'm going to combine these because I don't like dealing with decimal. 7 and 6. Negative 6 is 1 plus 1.5, which you'll realize is the same as the right-hand side. 2.5 is equal to 2.5. We did that right. Couple more. All right, I want to get rid of those parentheses by distributing. 10 times 2y is a 20y, plus 10 times 2 is 20, minus y, equals 2 times 8 is 16y, and 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Let's combine like terms right here of 20 and negative y. So on the left side, we'll have 19y plus 20 equals 16y minus 16. All y's on one side, we'll subtract 16 over. 19 minus 16 is 3y plus 20 equals a negative 16. Let's subtract 20 to both sides. Running out of room, so I'm going to come right here. 3y equals negative 36. Divide by 3 on each side, y equals negative 12. Let's double check. 10 times 2 times negative 12 plus 2 minus a negative 12. Does that equal 2 times 8 times negative 12 minus 8? Let's check. Okay, 10 times. 2 times negative 12 is a negative 24 plus 2. And a negative times a negative 12 is plus 12 equals 2 times 8 times negative 12 is going to be negative 96 minus 8. Whoa. All right. 10 times negative 24 plus 2 is a negative 22 plus 12 equals 2 times negative 96 minus 8 is going to be negative 104. 10 times negative 22 is going to be negative 220 plus 12. And 2 times 104 is going to be 208, negative 208. Okay, negative 220 plus 12 is going to be negative 208, which is equal to negative 208. That was a kind of lengthy process for checking, but we got it right. Let's distribute inside on number 11 first. 2 times 4 is 8x, and 2 times 2 is plus 4 equals 4x. Distribute negative 12 times x is negative 12x, and negative 12 times a negative 1 is a positive 12. We'll combine like terms over here to help us out. And we'll get 8x plus 4 equals negative 8x plus 12. All x's on one side, we'll add 8x. We'll get 8 plus 8 is 16x plus 4 equals 12. Subtract 4 from each side. We'll get 16x equals 8. If we divide by 16, we get x equals a positive 1/2. Let's check. 2 times 4 times 1/2 plus 2 is equal to 4 times 1/2 minus 12 times 1/2 minus 1. Okay, this 2 times 4 times 1/2 is 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 times 1/2 is 2 minus 12 times 1/2 times a negative 1/2 minus 1 is a negative 1/2. 2 times 2 plus 2 is 4 is equal to 2 minus 12 times a negative 1/2 is actually a positive 6. 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 plus 6 is 8. So that's correct. Last question. Describe and correct the error. Okay, so 5c minus 6 equals 4 minus 3c. All right, looks like we tried to move the c over. So we would want to do the opposite, which would be add 3c to both sides. And we should get 8c. But, whoops, they did not use inverse operations. They subtracted 3c instead of adding. So 5c minus 6 equals 4 minus 3c. We should have added 3c to both sides to get all c's together. We would have gone 8c minus 6 equals 4. Added 6 to both sides and gotten 8c equals 10. Divide by 8. We get a fraction. C equals 10 over 8 or 5 over 4. All right, you guys, you have a quiz on solving equations tomorrow. I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a wonderful day.